With the success of Mario and Sonic at the box office, it's no wonder that we as consumers are antsy to see what video games and its characters will get movies or TV shows in the future. Well, that's what I'm here to find out and give my wish list on this topic. Now, this was going to be just a top 10 characters that I think deserved a movie or TV show, but I honestly couldn't rank them, so I just decided to just do 10 in general, with a couple honorable mentions to boot. But before we jump right in, if you could please like, comment, and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. My goal is to get 100 subscribers by the end of the year. It's a very daunting task, but it's my task. And without further ado, I'm Taylor from RufandRuleMedia, and these are the 10 video game characters that need to get their own TV show/movies. Starting off at number 10 are actually two characters, but you've probably already heard of who they are. And that is Crash Bandicoot and Spyro the Dragon. Now, both Crash and Spyro have lovely history spanning all the way back to the PlayStation 1. And in all honesty, both of these characters make sense to be put on the big screen, if not at least a TV show. Both Crash and Spyro defined the PlayStation 1 era with their wacky worlds, incredible characters, and just overall fun gameplay, and I think that could translate over to a big screen no problem. And to be honest, I really don't think this one is really that big of a reach. If I were to see these both being done, in all honesty, I think it'd be best with them just as both TV shows. Although it'd be really cool to see them on the big screen, overall, I think people would find them a lot more fun and enjoyable just going through random adventures, something on like a Cartoon Network or like a Teen Titans Go almost kind of way. But either way, Crash and Spyro together both make my list at number 10. My number 9 on my list is Jak and Daxter. Now this is a no-brainer. The Jak and Daxter franchise was one of the big three during the early PS2 era alongside Ratchet & Clank and Sly Cooper. I remember loving the first one and the second one despite the fact I really couldn't beat the second one. But out of all three, I think Jak's would be the most interesting. Jak and Daxter's storyline, especially if you did just the first game, didn't really have a whole lot to go off of. It was pretty straightforward from what I remember. So I think there'd be a lot of room for growth and experimentation. The one thing I do remember throughout it is that Jak and Daxter is actually a pretty funny game. All three of them are really good, especially because Daxter is such an interesting and fun character, and if they did, I feel like they'd have to bring the two voices back of Jak and Daxter over anybody else, especially Daxter, because the way his comedic tone worked was absolutely amazing. If I had to bring Jak and Daxter into either the big screen or the TV show, I think I would definitely go the TV show though, just because I think it would be more interesting with the second and third games rather than just big movies, which I feel like would cut so much content out. Now, I don't think number 8 needs any introduction. Sly Cooper already had a trailer drop back in like 2014, I think, and was set for a 2016 release until Ratchet & Clank plummeted all those chances. And that was the last we heard of it. But since then, we've gotten the Sonic movie and the Mario movie, and I think there's a good chance that Sly Cooper could be an easily doable movie. In my opinion, out of the big three of the PlayStation 2 era, Sly Cooper has the best story of them overall. Sly as a character is amazing, along with a lot of its other cast. Bentley, Murray, Carmelita, if they find the right voice for her, will be absolutely stunning to see on the big screen. And if the trailer, go back and watch the trailer on YouTube, but if you ever see the trailer, you'll know that they can do it right. If you ever get a chance, they have it on the PlayStation or whatever, I always recommend the Sly Cooper collection. It's on the PlayStation Plus system, subscription, whatever, and I would highly recommend going and playing them. They are fantastic games, and I think it would make a fantastic movie. Just as long as Chris Pratt doesn't voice Sly. Now, number 7 is one that I actually don't know a whole lot about, but from what I would see and just talk about with other friends and stuff, they really like this game, and that's Psychonauts. I believe Psychonauts is about a kid named Raz who goes to a school for kids with psychic powers, and I think that would be a really cool TV show, especially because it's done by Tim Burton. Since he had a hand in both Psychonauts 1 and 2, I can't see why a movie based about it wouldn't be something so out of the norm. If I remember right, Psychonauts has a big cult following, so I think easily this game could be a TV show or a movie, and I think it'd be done pretty well. And I mean, let's be honest, it's Tim Burton. Like, he makes good stuff. Now, number 6 is one that many old fans would like to see on the big or small screen, and that's Battletoads. Made back in the NES days to rival the much well-known TMNT, That's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for you guys who don't know. The trio of Rash, Pimple, and Zitz are way overdue for a revival, so why not bring them to either the big or small screen? Seeing the Turtles goes through some pretty crazy redesigns over the years, some better than others. So I mean, why couldn't Battletoads? Although personally I think it'd be much better as a TV show, but you never know. This one though, I do feel like is reaching a little bit. I don't see Battletoads ever getting its own thing anytime soon, but I mean, it could be possible. Number 5 is one that's kind of like Battletoads. It's going to be known by more old school people, but when I say it, I feel like you'll agree with me on it, and that is Earthworm Jim. Now, Earthworm Jim was a 1994 2D platformer back in the old days and has a pretty decent cult following. While I say he's kind of faded into obscurity or even more, a little more of that meme territory, I think him making a return would be actually pretty cool. Now, I do think that this one's probably reaching really hard, but I think it would definitely be possible for him to make a return. A revival TV show might just be what this hero needs to get himself off the ground. That was not a space pun. Now, number 4 is one of my personal favorite game franchises of all time, and that is Viewtiful Joe. Now, I do feel like this one also is a bit reaching because he's already had 2 games and a TV show, but damn it, this dude needs a revival. In the era of like oversaturated superheroes, I think Viewtiful Joe would be a breath of fresh air. The guy is straight up like a lovable dork who just loves movies, and then when his girlfriend gets captured and brought into the movie world, he goes and saves her. There isn't much to it. It's a very vibrant, cool art style. Joe's powers were always really cool, like being able to slow down time, speed up time, rewind, replay, all that stuff is so cool. I think it would be a really fun show to get back into. If you get time, play the game. Honestly, play the game. It's fun. It's for the PS2 and GameCube, so it's an old game, but I definitely would recommend it. If I remember, the TV show was pretty clueless. They really didn't know what to do with it, but I think that at this point, I think we could get a TV show that's a little more true to the original story. Now, number 3 is none other than our favorite character in F-Zero, Captain Falcon. Now, most people don't actually know who he is or where he's from. All they know is the iconic Falcon Punch and his appearances in Smash Bros, which has been since the beginning. Just as a side note, Falcon Captain. Captain Falcon is who I actually use in Smash Bros. That's my main. So all you Falcon mains out there, man, sit back. I got it. But F-Zero was a futuristic racer, and a show with Captain Falcon in the driver's seat would be quite amazing. I really think it's about time that people learn about him and actually get a good feel of who he is as a character. The only time I can think of him being in media, if anything else, is like a short anime, I believe, where he yells Falcon Punch like once. But the dude's stylish outfits and with Big Blue would make him a really fun choice, especially in 3D. Now, number 2 was another legendary favorite, and that is Star Fox McCloud. Nintendo's furry pilot Fox has been hanging around the Smash Bros. Scene for a long time, yet not a lot of people really know who he is. He's been given other games before, besides the iconic Star Fox 64, but nothing's really been able to stick the landing and wow over audiences as much as that game. Out of the characters in Nintendo's lineup, this character, Fox, would really benefit from giving him his own time to shine in probably a movie or something along those lines. Honestly, I think it's a little criminal that we really haven't gotten much more out of Fox, but we've gotten so much more of like Donkey Kong and Mario and all them, but he's still a big mainstay for people. Hell, we're supposedly getting content for Kirby, whether it's a new movie or something like that. That's just a rumor I heard, but I think Fox deserves one a little bit more. Besides, seeing a movie, like an animated movie where they're flying around through space, I think would be super cool. Now, before I jump into my number 1, I really want to address 2 honorable mentions that I think really could get their own stuff. So my first honorable mention is Rayman, and I think Rayman deserves this badly. I remember playing Rayman 2, The Great Escape on the N64, and I really think he deserves his own TV show. I don't think necessarily a movie, but I do think his own TV show. I don't know if he's ever gotten one. I think he might have gotten some shorts, but that's about it. Now, my second honorable mention is Bomberman. Now, I love Bomberman. The two big Bomberman games I remember are Bomberman 64 and Bomberman Hero. I personally loved Bomberman Hero, but I really think that Bomberman could do all right as a TV show. I don't necessarily think a movie, but I do think a TV show. And I think it's about time. I mean, this character's been around for a long time, and just nobody really thinks about him anymore. I know he's an assist character, I believe, in Smash Bros. So yeah, get on it. Now, my number one is super evident, and that's Banjo-Kazooie. These two, in my opinion, are the rival to Mario from Super Mario 64. Now, they have had a few games with Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Grunty's Revenge. I think they had a racing game, and then they had Nuts and Bolts, which I think is slightly underrated. And they made an appearance in Smash Bros. Ultimate, which I absolutely adored. But, and this is a huge but, I think it would be great for them to get a movie, just saying. All the games are very simplistic, and their storyline and structure and stuff, the dialogue and humor made up for it full front. They are hilarious. They're pretty much, especially Bottles and Kazooie. To be honest, I almost forgot about this until the Act Man actually went and did his video on it, and I started cracking up because I forgot how funny some of these jokes were. But in all reality, I think Banjo-Kazooie would work very well as a movie. I mean, if Mario can get one with barely any actual plot relevance at all, except for simplistically stopping Bowser, what is stopping Banjo-Kazooie from getting the same treatment? Now, this would delve more into Microsoft, because I believe Microsoft is the one who has Rare, who has the rights to it. But I think it would work. It would work just fine. I mean, you'd have to make them talk. Once again, don't have to use Chris Pratt, just saying. But I honestly believe that this franchise could work as a movie. Hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Well, my fellow game enthusiasts, we are at the end of the video. I appreciate all of you watching very much, and let me know who you think deserves their own movie. I would love to hear y'all's opinion on it. I probably have missed a few people that I was thinking about and then just kind of forgot. So let me know, what do you think? Be sure, again, to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how it is. This is my first time doing a video like this, so let me know if you want to see more top 10s. I had a lot of fun doing them. And with that being said, I'm Taylor from Rough and Rule Media, and I will catch you in the next one.